Muscle quiz answers. What does excess post-exercise oxygen consumption represent? This represents the difference between the amount of oxygen needed for totally aerobic muscle activity and the amount that's actually used. Of the numerous muscle types, which only has one nucleus, no sarcomeres, and numerous gap junctions? Single unit smooth muscle. Most skeletal muscles contain a mixture of fiber types. What part of the sarcolemma contains acetylcholine receptors, the motor end plate? What is the most distinguishing character of muscle tissue? The ability to transform chemical energy into mechanical energy to move the body. An anaerobic metabolic pathway that results in the production of 2 net ATPs per glucose 2 pyruvic acid molecules is called glycolysis. During muscle contraction, myosin bridges attach to which active sites? Actin filaments. Rigor mortis occurs because no ATP is available to pump calcium ions back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Which of the following best illustrates the fact that skeletal muscle is a voluntary muscle? Skeletal muscle fibers are innervated by somatic motor neurons. Although all anatomical parts of the muscle work together to give its characteristics, which of the following proteins listed below will be most associated with the characteristics of excitability? Acetylcholine receptors in the neuromuscular junction, NMJ. Addition of more mitochondria to a muscle fiber will have the least effect on fast glycolytic fibers. Hypothetically, if a muscle were stretched to the point where thick and thin filaments no longer overlapped, no muscle tension could be generated. Oxygen-starved tissues can release chemicals into the blood that can change the diameter of nearby blood vessels responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrient to the tissues. These blood vessels will respond through vasodilation, widening of the vessel, to deliver more oxygen to the tissue that they need it the most. Which muscle type is responsible for the process of vasodilation? Smooth muscle. Approximately 80% of the muscle fibers are the myofibrils. This characteristic reflects muscle's ability to produce movement through contractile force. During vigorous exercise, there may be insufficient oxygen available to completely break down pyruvic acid for energy. As a result, the pyruvic acid is converted to lactic acid, which leads to muscle fatigue. Which of the following statements is most accurate? Muscle tension remains relatively constant during isotonic contraction. Inability to adequate oxygen to muscle fibers efficiently would have the biggest effect on slow oxidative fibers. The contractile units of skeletal muscles are sarcomeres. Muscle tone is the state of sustained partial contraction. Creatine phosphate functions in the muscle cell by storing energy that would be transferred to ADP to resynthesize ATP.